Rumors are escalating about a Christian Koloko return incoming, as he's been spotted around the Toronto Raptors team, Toronto Raptors executives of this year's Summer League, and he's been working out, cleared to play according to his own personal doctors. And Masai Ujiri has had some interesting comments about that final roster spot, or a final roster spot opening up, as Sasha Vezenkov's future is definitely up in the air. More updates came out on that front in this video, so we'll discuss all of that in this video. But folks, before we do, if you want to stay up to date with everything regarding this Toronto Raptors team, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Over 49% of you haven't hit it just yet, despite a new wave of viewership. So I appreciate all the new subscribers, people jumping in. But again, you don't want to miss a single thing regarding the Toronto Raptors. Make sure you guys hit that sub button. But let's dive into what's been going on, because Christian Koloko, again, is a player that didn't have the craziest of stats during his time with the Toronto Raptors. Again, 3 points per game, 3 rebounds, did have some promise as a three-point shooter, not in percentages wise, but took some at least, which is more than a lot of 7-1 young, raw centers coming into the NBA. But he blocked a ton of shots, in a small sample size, and just 13 minutes per game, blocked 1 shot a night, and was a mobile, just really athletic rim rudder, shot blocker, defender, all these types of things, and had a lot of Toronto Raptors fans excited. And the excitement's picked back up when we saw Christian Koloko be tweeted out by a bunch of Raptors beat reporters. Pictures kind of get shown of him around this Toronto Raptors group during this Raptors Summer League team. Obviously, he's not playing for the team. Anyone that's watching the Raptors play so far in Summer League, he hasn't actually been out there on the court for this Raptors group, but he has been spotted around the team. We can see what some of the quotes are saying about Christian Koloko. So Christian Koloko, he hasn't been on the court for the Toronto Raptors, but he has participated in private free agent workouts in Las Vegas this Saturday. His agent Calvin Andrews of Clutch Sports tells the U.S. Sun. Workouts also featured Eric Bledsoe, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Corey Joseph, Austin Rivers, DJ Wilson, another former Toronto Raptor, Thon Maker, BJ Botson, and Juan Toscano Anderson. So basically, the Christian Koloko's out there working on the court, and this is a lot of people excited because, again, we broke down his stats. It's not like he's some world beater in the sense that he's knocking down, crazy points, crazy buckets, blocking a crazy amount of shots, in his limited opportunity, but he showed that potential. He showed flashes of being a really effective modern center in the NBA, and now a couple years more, again, off, but in those years, I'm sure he's working on his game, working on his shot, working on a ton of things. He would be a really nice fit in terms of what the Toronto Raptors are looking for, as a guy that fits that Scottie Barnes timeline, mobile, athletic, lob threat out there for this Raptors group. So he is exactly the fit-wise what Toronto Raptors players can need. And basically, the reports continue as Koloko is yet to be medically cleared for the NBA's fit-to-play panel after suffering a blood clot issue, preventing him from playing or participating with an NBA team. But the 7-foot center has been cleared to return to basketball by his own doctors. Koloko's paperwork has been submitted so the NBA's fitness to play can make a determination on his status. So we've looked at Christian Koloko. Anyone that's watched him actually play gets excited in terms of what he could be as a basketball player, despite the stats not being that overwhelming. And firstly, I'm just happy whether he ends up with the Toronto Raptors or not. Obviously, I'm a biased Toronto Raptors fan, so that's where we're going to be coming from. But I'm happy that this guy, who seemed just like a good dude, always interviewed really well, just seemed like a really nice presence around the Raptors locker room, who had his career seemingly cut short, early on with this blood clot issue, is, I don't want to say guaranteed, but is taking steps, is moving in the direction of getting his NBA career back. I can't imagine what that must feel like. Something you're working for your entire life to just get pulled away by something that's completely uncontrollable like blood clots. So the fact that he's just able to get back on a basketball court is extremely, extremely positive. And the fact that he's around these Raptors groups, Masai Ujiri hinted at if he could come back healthy, if he's able to play, if he's cleared to play, then the Raptors would be interested in bringing him back, or there's a potential future for him to return with the team. That was before all the hopes were up and the excitement was there. But this is exciting news for just the former Raptors prospect to, one, not only return, but actually get into the NBA. So that's a huge positive. That's a huge stuff there. But a lot of people might be saying, Ben, we don't have a roster spot, right? We haven't been able to even think about bringing back the star boy, Trent Jr., because we have this entire roster filled. So why on earth are we even speculating about Christian Koloko returning to the Toronto Raptors? We're just looking at, him talking to Masai, talking to the guys, all that. Well, there might be a roster spot opening, according to some new reports, new comments from Masai Ujiri. He's come out and basically addressed the Sasha Vezenkov saga. So we're still having that conversation. He had a tough time in the NBA last year. We're trying to figure it out. The right decision will be made. So if you're not familiar with what the situation is going on with Sasha Vezenkov right now, firstly, I'll plug it again, double plug, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single thing on this Raptors team. But Sasha Vezenkov is a guy that was acquired by the Toronto Raptors in a trade with the Sacramento Kings. He was formerly a EuroLeague MVP and is a player that is a nice three-point shooter, is elite from corner three spots, is just a pretty solid forward that could come in and be an impact player for the Toronto Raptors. But he wants to go back to the place where he was renowned as the MVP, the superstar, the man over in Olympiacos over in Greece, to get back to his EuroLeague career, because with the Sacramento Kings, he didn't have that major opportunity. He didn't have that, MVP status that he probably was craving, was probably missing from his EuroLeague action. So he's trying to get back to Olympiacos. Reports have come out that he signed a contract, and then that got leaked, and there's back and forths in terms of what's going on. But all the cards are currently in Masai Ujiri's hand. And as Masai said, right, we bring the quote back up, right, the right decision will be made. And he went on to say in a new quote that I think he's a phenomenal player. He had a tough season last season, and those things happen. He is a great shooter. Whatever happens, we're going to make the best out of this situation. We support him in every way, and we know where our team is going, so hopefully soon we'll have a decision in regards to Sasha Vezenkov. So, personally, I am excited to see Sasha Vezenkov actually play for the Toronto Raptors. I think we need shooting. I think he's a piece that is interesting on a reasonable contract and can actually have an impact on this Toronto Raptors team. However, I do think what might be holding this thing up, and this is me putting pieces together, right? The right decision will be made hopefully soon, all this stuff, because Masai Ujiri has the right to completely just cut Sasha, right? I just can cut him at any time. This Olympiacos thing, there's no timeline, there's no deadline, there's nothing on the clock for Masai Ujiri to be on that front. And we don't have an open roster spot at this point. So there's, if there's another free agent out there, we're just wasting time if we're sort of figuring out what's on the go with Sasha and stuff. I don't imagine they're evaluating his talent too much. If I'm piecing things together, and Masai Ujiri saying hopefully soon, hopefully in the next couple days, we're seeing Christian Koloko be around the team, being slowly reintegrated into Raptors basketball situations. Conspiracy Ben here, coming out here saying, I think Masai Ujiri is waiting to see if Christian Koloko is approved to play for that NBA ready, fit to play, whatever the official title is. We can bring it back up here. The NBA's fitness to play program that it all comes out with. In my read of the entire situation is he knows Sasha Vezenkov wants out of the NBA, not necessarily with the Toronto Raptors and stuff, but the NBA in general, right? The Raptors didn't do anything wrong on that front, but he wants to go back to Olympiacos. Masai Ujiri wants his Christian Koloko's project back. So, again, we're not going to let an asset like Sasha Vezenkov walk without a secondary option that Masai Ujiri feels comfortable with, wants back, and all those types of things. So, my read of it is he is waiting to see if Christian Koloko gets that NBA-approved fitness to return. If he does, then Christian Koloko will be a Toronto Raptor, and Sasha Vezenkov, they'll agree to a buyout and let him walk back to Olympiacos. That is my reading the tea leaves of the situation. Again, this isn't insider info. This isn't crazy knowledge or something that's going on. But if we're piecing things together, I think this is a situation that could be worked on behind the scenes. And it's why we haven't seen a decision, despite the fact we've had weeks now, the Sasha Vezenkov saga being dragged out and things happening on that front. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with that read of the situation? How do you guys piece together all this public information? Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys the best, make this far. Subscribe to the channel. You guys the best. Sign out. Cheers.